Hello everyone, my name is Kate, and today we are going to get acquainted with polygonal object modeling. So we see a primitive that only has default settings, like size and number of segments. These are all the tools we have to modify the object. To be able to edit this object, we need to put it into edit mode. This can be done by adding an edit poly modifier, or by converting the object to an editable poly. In both cases, we get the same set of options. But what's the difference then? Edit Poly is a modifier that allows you to save intermediate editing results or return to the original parameters. For example, we can delete some polygons and then easily reset the changes by removing the modifier. We have the possibility to experiment to get the desired result. Let's apply the edit poly again. By the way, as you can see, I've placed the most frequently used modifiers on the panel. Visit our Patreon by the link in the description. There you'll find a detailed lesson on how to customize a modifier set, as well as other tips to speed up your work in 3ds Max. The downside of using the modifier is that you must follow the logic of geometry creation. If it's violated, errors will appear in the model. For example, now I'll delete this edge and go back to the lower level into the box settings. I'll change the grid parameters. And here we see that this has caused the geometry to break. The best practice is to use Edit Poly for your work, and after you're done modifying the object, convert it to Editable Poly to save the result. So, moving on. Now let's delete the Edit Poly modifier and convert the object to an Editable Poly. In the Section tab, we can select sub-objects to work with. There are vertices, edges, borders, polygons, and elements. When a sub-object is selected, it's highlighted in red. In 3ds Max, all objects are hollow inside, and polygons have a front and a back side. The front side is highlighted in light red, while the back side is dark. This is an important point that will come in handy when modeling. You can toggle between full shading and wireframe by pressing the F2 hotkey. All polygons have a normal. You can display them by converting the object to Editable Mesh mode. A normal is a vector that indicates the front direction of a polygon or vertex. It's responsible for the correct reflection of light from the object, as well as for its smoothing. We'll discuss the topic of smoothing in detail in the lesson on working with polygons. Editable Mesh is useful for certain operations in 3ds Max, such as Boolean or when importing geometry from other programs. Its characteristic feature is the triangulation of polygons. In addition, Editable Mesh allows a single edge to be shared by multiple polygons, unlike Editable Poly, where an edge can only be shared by 2 polygons. However, the functionality of Editable Poly is much broader, so we'll mainly be working with it. Another working mode is Editable Patch. It's better to show its possibilities on a new object. In this mode, sub-objects have control handles, like splines, which allow us to modify the object smoothly. The key feature of Editable Patch is the flexibility in shaping the created object. This enables us to quickly achieve the desired result in modeling, while ensuring correct topology. Now that you know what Edit Poly is, you are ready to move on. I hope you found this lesson useful. Join us on Patreon for more useful content. Learn easily with Softschool.